XCY, it's Kane High School basketball. Our broadcast is made possible in part through the financial support of Zook Motors, Kane Lumber and Fuel True Value Hardware, W.E. Swanson Insurance Agency, Field Street Boots, The Photo and Sound Shop, Lindbergh Furniture, and Dine Excavating. Now, let's go live courtside for the game on the official station of Wolfpack Nation, 1017 XCY.
Hello and welcome to the Wolves Den in the Kane Area High School Gymnasium, the site of tonight's high school varsity boys basketball contest between your 9-11 Kane Wolves and the 13-8 Johnsonburg Rams. I'm joined by my partner,
there we go,
Chris Nicholas, and we have reached the final regular season home matchup, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2024 through 25 Kane Wolves varsity boys basketball team. We here at WXCY have been very honored and grateful for your support to be able to do so. And the season, Chris, has been very up and down and streaky for the Wolves. They started off with likely their 5 toughest games of the season.
And they really do. Every year they start off with those tough games to begin with.
It's difficult.
And it's tough, but right out of the gate, you know where that level you have to be at right out of the gate.
Exactly.
And it's tough to get back into that, but they've been doing a lot better lately.
Yes, they started off 0-5, then they won 4 out of 6. They proceeded to drop 5 in a row, and now they've won 5 games in a row to put them at a 9-11 record, Chris. In this past week, they've had 2 games at home, one against Port Allegheny. They won 55-48. Finn Chamberlain had his coming out party. 20-plus points. He had an incredible basketball game. And then most recently on Wednesday, right here on WXCY, they defeated Brockway 48-42 to complete their season sweep. They're looking for a push towards the postseason, and it's very, very probable that they're going to need to win out. They have Johnsonburg today, Clarion on Monday, and Johnsonburg they're a team that's been able to get the best of Kane recently. They won 50-24 earlier this year, Chris. What's something that the Wolves need to do to finally get over that hump?
Well, what they need to do, and we've said this all year, free throws. I believe the last 2 games we won, we were 50% or under. I think in the Port game we might have been over that percentage, but you got to start making those free throws, especially here down at the end where you're looking for trying to get in the playoffs. You got to win out to do that. The other thing I like to do, and we talked about this before the game started, we like to see them put some shots when they're posting up down low. They don't tend to do that. They tend to kick it back out for the 3, and they have them living and dying by the 3.
Right, and that's a formula that can be wildly successful if you're hitting them, Chris.
If you hit them.
Yeah, and they have been recently, but we would like to see some more complimentary basketball in terms of being able to push that ball into the post. Don't force anything. It's easier said than done. Johnsonburg, they have a lot of very tall and lengthy players, so getting the ball in the post is not going to be an easy task for the Kane Wolves tonight. But what's also not going to be an easy task is that Johnsonburg, they've won 7 out of their last 8 games against Kane, dating back to 2019 through 2020 varsity season. The Kane's most recent win was a 1-point win in 2023 over Johnsonburg. Aside from that, it's been all Rams the entirety of the time. So
you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
But we got to break some precedent in order to turn a 5-game winning streak into a 7-game winning streak. At that point, you could be going into the playoffs. One of, if not the hottest teams in the District 9, winners of 7 in a row, and at a 500 record, you earned your spot at that point.
You sure did, and that it's going to take a lot for these Wolves. And the other key to the game, I think, is to keep your composure. This JV game, we were commenting again before we went on the air. The Rams JVs, they were sprinting down the court in the 4th quarter.
They weren't even thinking about it.
No, this wasn't in the 1st quarter. The last few games for both the Wolves and the last 2, they've started off pretty quick. But this is in the 4th quarter. They're still sprinting down the court.
And another thing, Chris, is if you're playing a team that's had the best of you, like the Johnsonburg Rams, you've got to find a way, like you said, to do the fundamentals well. But you also have to limit your mistakes. And help Johnsonburg make more mistakes than you do. You got to find a way to make sure that a team that already has had your number doesn't find a way to get a whole lot of buckets and numbers at the free throw line. You got to limit the turnovers, and you have to give your opportunities at the free throw line. That's why they're called free throws after all.
Yeah, and there's no time coming off the clock there, so you want to take your opportunities and score when that's possible to make that happen. And a lot of good play from these Wolves. A lot of people have stepped up. I think you mentioned Finn Chamberlain stepped up. You know, what a 20-point game there against Port Allegheny. Wow.
I mean, he was on fire from 3 and within the arc as well.
All over.
Also like to give a special shout out tonight. It's not senior recognition night. That was the Brockway game. However, this will be the last game that seniors Christopher Yates and Brock Wenzel play as a Kane Wolf. We'd like to thank both of them for all the contributions they made to this team throughout the year and in previous years. Chris Yates having moved here last school year, and then Brock Wenzel obviously lived here all his life. He's committed to Mount Aloysius College. He's going to be a pitcher at the Division III level and also an outfielder for the Mounties. And he's going to be studying business and sports administration and management.
There we go. Yeah, I was going to say Brock is the lone senior that has done this since elementary school.
Yes,
you know, played ball the whole time here in basketball.
It's quite the accomplishment to put in all those years, and he certainly had his stellar performances. They're going to need the senior leadership of both one of the predominant ball handler for the Wolves in Brock Wenzel, and then also their predominant post player in Chris Yates. If they want to get this win tonight, Chris, they have to have it. There's no doubt about it. They got to find a way to win these last 2 games, get to that 500 record, and then at that point, they're knocking on the door of the postseason if it's something they choose to do. And at that point, anything can happen. Your team with the 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, you know, that's so great. And I'd like to see these guys get a win their last night here, especially for Brock and Chris, just to see that happen. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to send it back to the studio for a few words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here with the tip-off.
WXCY, supported by our friends of the Wolfpack and businesses like these. W.E. Swanson Insurance Agency, offering auto, homeowners, and business insurance at 23 Fraley Street in Kane. WESwansonagency.com. Field Street Boots in Kane, a dealer for Carhartt and Timberline clothing, as well as winter footwear and sporting goods. They're on Facebook under Field Street Boots. Lindbergh Furniture, Route 219 north of Johnsonburg, and now Lindbergh Sleep Center at 410 Center Street in downtown Johnsonburg. More info at lindberghfurniture.biz. Kane Lumber and Fuel True Value Hardware. Building supplies, lighting, winter snow, and ice removal products at their location on Hemlock Avenue in Kane. Dine Excavating. Their services include gravel and limestone, topsoil, and septic tanks. Located on Route 6 west of Kane, their phone number is 814-837-6990. Zook Motors, with new and pre-owned vehicles and a service and parts department. They're online at zookmotors.net. The Photo and Sound Shop, Kane's Radio Shack dealer on Fraley Street, providing sales and in-home installation of smart TVs and electronics. We thank these sponsors and friends like you for supporting Kane Wolves basketball coverage on 1017 XZY. WXCY-LP Kane.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Tell your Alexa device, Alexa, play WXCY.
Welcome back to the Wolves Den. We are just minutes away from tip-off between your 9 and 11 Kane Varsity Boys Wolves and the 13 and 8 Johnsonburg Rams. I'm Brandon Byam, joined by Chris Nicholas. We were talking about the JV game before we cut to the break, and unfortunately the JV team, they were unable to pick up a win tonight, Chris. They lost 46-36, but the JV team, they're having a great season, and whenever they're in a basketball game, you can always expect it to be competitive. So, you know, obviously you're looking to win the game, but there's a great JV team on the other side of the floor in Johnsonburg, so definitely no harm, no shame lost in that one. Two very competitive, good basketball teams. Johnsonburg's entering this game on a 2-game winning streak. They most recently defeated Sheffield 54-24 in the final home game ever in the Wolverines high school / middle school gymnasium. I know it's shared between both of those schools up in Sheffield. And obviously that's something that's very bittersweet for our area. You know, it's a reality of the situation.
It is.
But nonetheless, Johnsonburg played very, very well this season. They did start off with an 0-3 record themselves, so Kane and Johnsonburg, both of them very rough starts, but again, Johnsonburg, very, very tough start to their schedule as well. Their third of those 3 losses was in a 60-55 road loss to none other than ECC.
There you go.
And, of course, you're always looking for a win, but, hey, a 5-point loss against the Goliath of varsity boys basketball in District 9 against ECC, that's certainly something that shows the potential of this Johnsonburg team. If they play like that tonight, Chris, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat them.
Yeah, it is, and you hope you go out there, put your best game on the floor, and that's all we can ask. It's Friday night football. I almost said Friday night football. It's Friday night basketball here in the Wolves' Den, and you hope we can give them a game to remember.
Exactly, especially in the last home game of the 2024 through 2025 season, the last home game for Brock Wenzel and Chris Yates, the 2 seniors for this Kane Wolves varsity boys basketball team. Both contribute in very, very different ways due to their position, but Chris Yates, throughout the season, we've seen him getting better and better, more willing to put up some of those shots that initially he was a little bit hesitant to take at the start of the season.
Oh, it's changed.
Yeah, he's really embraced his role.
You bet.
And it's definitely a positive force for this team.
Yep.
But the Wolves, they also have 2 players, sophomore Nate McCormick and junior Tyson Boschert, both very tall, very lengthy. You can plug them into the post or you can put them in the wing. Tyson Boschert really helped the Wolves get one of their 9 victories against Youngsville, hit 3 consecutive 3-pointers in a row to ice the game.
Boom, boom.
Right, I mean,
It was just like, give it to him, he's hot.
I mean, you could argue that might be the highlight of the season. Youngsville's a very, very good basketball team. And considering what's going on in the Warren County School District, interesting to see where they go if they decide to go to Warren and play basketball there. Then all of a sudden, Warren, they have
it changes a lot. I mean, you take the best athletes from each of those 2 programs, plus the addition of what the athletes at Warren. You might have a powerhouse there.
Exactly, and then also Eisenhower as well, because how it works is the kids in the school district are going to have the option to go to either Warren or Eisenhower. Yes. So both of those teams, very, very strong basketball programs. Obviously, Eisenhower more related to our area, but interesting to see some realignment going on in District 9 basketball.
It will be interesting to see that, and I think right now we're ready for our national anthem. So we'll be right back after the anthem.
Welcome back to the Wolves Den. We just concluded honoring our nation with the playing of the national anthem. And Chris, something that we've said off the air going into this game is, yes, Johnsonburg defeated Kane 50-26 on the road earlier this season in mid-December. And obviously not a great showing for the Wolves that night. But nonetheless, if you're going to beat the Johnsonburg Rams, there's no better time to do it than now, not just because of the playoff situation, but also Kane, they're on a 5-game winning streak. If you're going to find a way to finally get over the hump, that mental barrier that Johnsonburg's created over the past 5 years of varsity play, it's going to be whenever you're on a 5-game winning streak. You have all the momentum in the world, and at that point, anything is possible, Chris.
For sure, without a doubt. That adds so much to it when you have that winning streak going into the game.
And in order for the Wolves to win this game, it is paramount that if they're going to continue to shoot threes at the volume that they do, they have to make sure that they're quality shots, and a lot of it does come down to luck to a certain extent. Which way does the ball bounce? Yep. They got to find a way to get those threes in, but that wouldn't be my recommendation, to just shoot threes all the time. and that's hyperbole to say they do it all the time, but they do definitely.
They do a lot. They shoot a lot from the outside. Yeah,
they for sure do. So if they're going to do that, obviously you'd like to see those shots fall, but also you have to find a way to try to push that ball into the paint, and even if you put up a shot, it's not the best quality shot. If you just get fouled, go into traffic, draw that foul, get to the free throw line, and then find a way to make more free throws than not, which is something that has been a trouble for this boys varsity program dating back for quite a few years now. That's going to be how they find a way to beat Johnsonburg. You can't beat Johnsonburg, a team that's 13-8, and a team that overall, from a bird's eye view, you could possibly say is the more established basketball team in our area at this time. If you're going to be able to do that, you have to do the fundamentals well. You cannot turn this basketball over. You have to hit your free throws, and you got to find a way to make them make some mistakes.
And the biggest thing I've always preached, you got to have those second chance opportunities on offense. You can't be throwing up that three and not having somebody in position to get that rebound.
You have to get those rebounds if you want to find a way to beat a team like Johnsonburg. They have a lot of long, tall, lengthy players, and we are underway here in the Wolves' Den. Brock Wenzel rips away the tip-off, and we get things started. Strong play by Wenzel to start off his last home game of his high school varsity basketball career. And now Preston Darr with the basketball finds Finn Chamberlain at the three-point line. And Chamberlain looks to push into the post, dips it back out to Preston Darr, gives it back to Chamberlain. Chamberlain looking for somebody in the post. Some strong defense by the Rams. He finds Darr, but he picks up his dribble, passes it back out to Novosel. Novosel back over to Darr. He's guarded by number 34, Ethan Haight. And now McCormick with the basketball penetrates into the post, but dips it back out to Preston Darr. And Chris, this is something you see a lot.
Very patient.
A lot of passing. Yeah. Darr puts up a shot, and he drains it.
Very patient play offense there by the Wolves. I like it.
Very good. Preston Darr
took almost a minute off the clock and got two in the end.
Gets things started, and if the Wolves can do that all night, I mean, that's going to be great. They did not force anything there. Something you like to see. That ball's tipped by Novosel. Wenzel going the other way, coast to coast. A left-handed layup, and it's no good. Looking for the foul there, doesn't get it. And now Aiden DeMay going the other way for the Rams. Passes it out to Austin Klink, the senior.
They're going to call a foul on the Wolves. It's going to be on Wenzel.
6:44 to play in the first quarter. Kane leads Johnsonburg 2-0 in the very young basketball game. It's going to be DeMay with the basketball. He finds Noah Stauffer, and Stauffer backs off. He's guarded by Finn Chamberlain. Now in the post goes Lewis. Lewis puts up a shot. Sam Lewis not able to connect, and Finn Chamberlain gets the rebound for the Wolves, going the other way, and so far so good, Chris. We'll see if they can keep it going. A strong pass to Darr. Puts up the shot. It's no good on the floater. And now Johnsonburg with a fast break opportunity. They calm things down a little bit. Now DeMay pushes into the post. A three for Peterson's not good. And Nate McCormick comes down with the board for the Wolves. Some strong defense overall, especially in terms of getting boards for the Kane Wolves, a trend that they're breaking, and that's good because they need to find ways to do that.
I like what I'm seeing so far, especially on defense. I think there was 2 block shots, so far tonight.
Now Preston Darr with the basketball, gets the screen from Chamberlain, thinks about taking the three, but instead gives it to Wenzel. Wenzel drives to his left, finds Chamberlain in the corner. Chamberlain penetrates into the post, finds Darr for an open three, not able to connect. And now DeMay going the other way for the Rams. Looking for a pass. He finds Peterson, the senior, Cade Peterson. Gives it back to DeMay. DeMay over to Lewis. And Stauffer is trapped by Chamberlain. He's looking for a pass. Doesn't have a lot of room. He's able to find DeMay for three. Not able to connect. And Chamberlain, once again, Chris, comes down with the board for the Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves with a tight man-to-man defense there.
Chamberlain pushes in the post, finds McCormick for the open shot, and he drains it, Chris.
Yeah. I like it. Open shot, take it.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking. You got those open shots down low. Don't pass the ball around. Take those open jumpers.
Sharp shooters tonight for the Wolves so far. 4:45 to play. Kane leads 4-0. The Rams put up the shot. Not able to connect. It was number 10, Parker Kala. And now Dar going the other way off the Kane rebound. Eric Novosel fakes it. The three goes in with the left-handed layup. A beautiful play by Novosel. Forces the Rams a timeout. He's excited.
He's excited, and the Johnsonburg coach is not excited. But, boy, the Wolves have done exactly what we said at the beginning. You know, they took away those second-chance opportunities. They've gotten every offensive or defensive rebound so far tonight.
And they have done very, very well, Chris. So much so that Johnsonburg, they have a very nice crowd tonight as well. You got to represent. Rams country traveled very, very well.
They did.
Granted, it's not the furthest drive in the world, but nonetheless, the weather's not the greatest. You got to tip your hat to the Johnsonburg crowd. But the Kane Wolves able to come out with a storm at the top of their minds with 4:35 to play. They lead 6-0. They forced the Rams timeout in what was a very good timeout call, in my opinion, by their head coach, Cole Peterson.
You know, you're already 6 points up. 6 points down, I should say, with the Wolves 6-0, 4:24 to go.
Now Lewis with the basketball, finds Stauffer. Stauffer back to Lewis, and he's stripped by McCormick. And Nate McCormick.
The hands there going up.
Wow,
he was up in the air, no ball.
When Lewis goes high, McCormick goes low.
Yeah.
And that worked really well for the Wolves. Then
another block.
Not able to get it. Oh, and that is a foul, and that shot floats in, and it's going to count on the board. Number 10, Parker Kalla, the junior, got his own rebound off of the missed shot that was blocked by a Wolf. And he's able to make it and get the foul, so he's heading to the free throw line for the good old-fashioned three-point play.
Yep, that's the first foul on Novosel for the night. 2 for the Wolves, none for the Rams.
And Kalla gets the ball to bounce in, cuts the Wolves lead in half. 6-3 is the score of 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Wenzel facing a press, finds Dar. Dar barely able to get it to Chamberlain, who puts up a shot. It's blocked by number 24, Aiden DeMay. Making a statement early here. But it rolls out of bounds, and it will be Wolves basketball. Finn Chamberlain's the inbound passer, looking for somebody. Finds Wenzel under the post. Wenzel dips it back out to Dar. And Dar tried to drive on number 3, Cade Peterson, the senior. He forces the call on Peterson. So smart play by Dar. Stops the clock at 3:56.
Yeah, and a smart play on Wenzel there, too, with that inbound pass. The Rams did a nice job of cutting off the post position, and he had to put it back out. Great call there, not going up on that.
Novosel looking for somebody, finds Wenzel. Wenzel drives to his right. He's guarded well, has to dip it out to Chamberlain. Chamberlain dribbles to his left, finds Dar. Dar back over to Wenzel. Wenzel makes a cut to his right, finds McCormick, and that was super similar, Chris, to the last shot he just made.
They're going to eventually start figuring out, hey, you know, when McCormick's down there low in the post, you know, he's going to be shooting the ball. Keep shooting.
Nate McCormick, he has an eye for space tonight.
Oh, that's going to be a travel. You bet it is.
This crowd is riled up, Chris.
He got cut down there, right down low, and traveled the ball before he got rid of it. I like it. Good job, Wolves.
So far, so good. If you're the Kane Wolves and head coach Corey Dar, his assistant Ryan Truman. 3:20 to play. Preston Dar with the basketball. He's trapped. Going to force a jump ball. And that'll be Rams ball as a result. They're going to credit Kane with winning the tip-off.
Yeah. That's the first jump of the night, isn't it?
It is so far tonight. Yes, it is, Chris.
3:20 to go here. 8-3 the Wolves up.
Noah Stauffer, the senior with the basketball. A lot of seniors for this Rams team, so it's now or never for those players. Yep. Domtar already has the Flyers made for their playoff run, potentially, as they'll definitely be in it regardless of the result of this game. Some strong defense by the Wolves. Finn Chamberlain gets the basketball, finds Novosel in the corner for 3, and he hits it. Eric Novosel.
Let's go.
The sophomore doing what he does best, and that's being an athlete, Chris.
Just a smooth shot there.
Now Peterson trying to respond. The Wolves would lead 11-3 with 2:38 to play in the first quarter on the Rams. Ball's put up by Lewis. He's not able to connect, but a nice rebound by Kalla. He's able to draw the foul. The shot doesn't fall like last time, but Parker Kalla seems to be a very smart basketball player getting away to the line.
Yeah, and that's McCormick's first, a team third for the Wolves.
So with 2:32 to play, you can give one foul if you're Kane, but you got to play conservatively to finish this first quarter. You do not want to give the team that is now, you're now leading them by 7 because Kalla made the first free throw, but you don't want to give a team that you're leading by 7, you have a lot of momentum swinging in your favor. You don't want to give them more opportunities to score relatively easy points, if you want to call them that. Parker, 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight, sinks the second free throw, makes it 11-5. Now Tyson Boschert, an open three, just a little bit too hard. Falls out of bounds off the hands of McCormick, and it'll be Rams basketball.
Again, he was open. Take the shot. That's again what we said. Sometimes we live by the three, sometimes we die by the three. You got to take those open shots. He was uncontested.
Nice shot by Boschert, just not able to get it to fall. Stauffer with the basketball in the post, and Boschert able to reject it, and they're going to call a foul on Boschert. Corey Dar seems to think that was all ball.
They're calling it not on Boschert, they're calling it on Finn.
That's an interesting revelation then. Because based on the play, you initially think, they must have called it on the block.
Yeah. It was either after when he came back down. I got nothing, man, because he's shooting, so he had to be up on the shot.
So one more foul. If the Kane Wolves commit one more, it'll send Johnsonburg to the line automatically, regardless of if it's a shooting foul or not.
5 for 5 from the line, the Rams are for free throws.
Stauffer sinks both of them. Finn Chamberlain faces the press, able to break it. Now Preston Dar with 2 minutes to play finds Boschert in the post, and he is blocked by number 32. That's Jude Schreiber, the junior for the Rams. Finn Chamberlain exits the game, and in comes his brother, Keller Chamberlain, number 30, a freshman for the Wolves.
Hey, that was a nice block by the Rams. Real nice.
Novosel looking for somebody in the inbound pass, finds Chamberlain. 1:57 to play. The Wolves lead 11-7 over their rival in the Johnsonburg Rams. And Boschert, the ball's plucked away by Schreiber, and he gives it to his point guard, Cade Peterson. Calms things down a little bit. Now back out to Stauffer. Stauffer guarded by Chamberlain, dribbles to his right, looking to put up a shot in the post. He's able to find Peterson in the corner, and he doesn't connect. And somehow out of all of that, Nate McCormick comes up with the basketball, and now Boschert looking to go coast to coast. Calms things down a little bit, finds Preston Dar at the three-point line. He's guarded by number 0, Hunter Newman. Tyson Boschert finds Novosel in the corner, guarded by Stauffer. Novosel looking for somebody to pass to, finds Preston Dar, a very high upside player for this Wolves team. Gives it back out to Novosel, who drives up, tries to drive in, and he is...
Is that on the floor? 2?
Yep, we're going to say it's a shooting foul, so a huge decision in favor of the Wolves. Sends Eric Novosel, the sophomore, to the line. Of course, as I'm sure many of you know, he's the varsity quarterback for the Kane Wolves team. Certainly has a bright future at that position as well. Sinks the first free throw.
That's Schreiber's first for the Rams.
Now Boschert is being substituted out in favor of Finn Chamberlain with 1:11 to play. Your Kane Wolves lead 12-7 over the Johnsonburg Rams. Novosel sinks the second free throw, so Kane very good at the free throw line tonight, Chris. They can keep it up considering...
Let's keep going,
considering Johnsonburg's doing their part in that end of the bargain as well. Kane's going to need to keep that up if they want to preserve this lead. Now Schreiber, guarded by Dar. Tips it out to number 1, Aiden Galsick, the junior. How he finds Schreiber again. Schreiber, some nice defense by Dar. He has to pick up his dribble. Now he finds Sam Lewis, the senior. Lewis gives it to Newman. Newman finds Lewis in the post, puts up a shot, not able to connect. Finn Chamberlain.
We're going to say the other way. All right, that's against the Rams.
And Preston Dar was looking for that basketball, ended up falling, and they're going to say he fell because of an action of a Rams
plus of a slide
player.
Tackle. Potentially a slide tackle, but...
32 seconds to play. The Rams get the steal. And now Stauffer going the other way. And a steal by Chamberlain now. Having a track meet right now in the middle of the floor. Preston Dar at the basketball finds Novosel. 20 seconds to play. The Wolves lead by 6. Finn Chamberlain puts up a shot. Not able to connect. And now Stauffer has the basketball. But it's stolen away by Keller. Chamberlain finds Novosel wide open. Unable to connect.
It was right-handed.
But Chamberlain steals it again, gives Novosel the second chance, and this time, Eric Novosel, the same thing, 1 second to play. Rams put up the shot.
Oh, my God.
And it falls. And they're going to count it, Chris.
Yes, yeah,
Unbelievable.
It was up on the air before. The ref had his hand up before the clock ended.
A half-court shot. It looks like he wasn't even going to be able to get the ball off in time.
He got it off, and it rattled off. The banks were open. So anyway, I got to get the friends of the Wolfpack. We'd like to thank our friends Lindsay Novosel at Woodside Oils, Misty Slater, Raven Ediger, Jen D'Angelo, an American Income Life Insurance agent, Kathy Haight, Bill McDade, Jack and Linda Hedlund, Ariana Graville, Ron Cardy, Rick Fisher in memory of longtime sports supporter Jack Rubin, Doug Ewing, Elijah Sadie and Macy Truman, Barb and Jim Kimbrough, Don and Kathy Payne, Matt Gailey, Tim and Cheryl Maloney of Erie, PA, John and Christy Darr, Keith and Linda Regal, Kristen and Brian Weimer, Todd Stanko, Perky and Denny Galvin, Dave and Laura Galvin, John Galvin, Peter Galvin, Joan Walker, Thomas Walker, Braden Navanelli, and Pam Wright. We'd like to thank our friends of the Wolfpack. To get your name on this list, you can drop off your tax-deductible donation at the Radio Shack Photo and Sound Shop in Uptown Kane, or you can go to WXZYradio.com and click on that PayPal link. We also take Venmo at WXZY Radio. Just a reminder, we are a non-profit, non-commercial, 501c3 radio station. The only way we make money and keep the lights on and the transmitter transmitting is from listeners like you, these wonderful friends and our great sponsors. The Wolves are up 15-10. Let's go to the second.
Very good job, Chris.
Let's go.
And now Johnsonburg, an early turnover for the Wolves, gives Johnsonburg the basketball.
What a half-court shot there. We kind of cut that short there.
Oh,
yeah, he had it in the air at half-court, and there was 1 second left when it let go, and the clock expired, hit the rim, hit the backboard, then went in.
And that was number 4, Noah Stauffer, who's able to get that shot to fall. And that ball really thought about if it wanted to go in or not,
I didn't think it was, and it's just like, okay, there we go.
And that's the kind of fortune that Johnsonburg's looking to have in this second quarter. However, that
was not the fortune. Right between his legs, out of bounds. A turnover, Wolves ball.
Preston Darr now at the basketball, faces a mini press, one could say, from the Johnsonburg Rams. He's able to break it. Chris Yates wide open, and he puts up the right-handed layup. A nice play by Chris Yates as he enters this game.
Nice play, but down low, put it up.
And Chris Yates, he was named the Snowball Kane earlier today, Chris.
Oh, there we go.
He's having the time of his life right now, it looks like. A strong finish by number 34, Sam Lewis, on the right-handed layup. He is fouled and converts the shot. So Johnsonburg coming out with some fire, Chris.
And Sammy Ackley was the queen, I believe.
Yes, she was. So congratulations to the both of them.
A little different, naming that at the assembly, and the dance is postponed for tomorrow night.
Yes, it is.
So those of you that had your tickets for the dance, hold on to them. To be continued after the storm.
The free throw is converted by the Rams. Eric Novosel now at the basketball. The Rams playing much more aggressive defense from the jump than in the first quarter. Now Finn Chamberlain able to find Darr. Darr guarded by Lewis. 6:57 to play. Your Kane Wolves lead 17-13. And Darr willing to take his time, finds Chamberlain. Chamberlain looks for somebody in the post, not able to find him, but the defenders just leave him, and now he tries to put up a shot, not able to connect on the left-handed layup, but Finn Chamberlain fouled, and he will head to the line to shoot 2.
That is the first foul on Stauffer for the Rams. Both teams a foul apiece here in the second.
Chamberlain puts up the free throw, and it doesn't quite roll in. Certainly had the ability to.
Break that. Let's break that right now.
Awaiting the second free throw, Chamberlain puts it up, and that one not quite as close, but he gets his own rebound. And now Novosel stripped. He gives it to Wenzel somehow, some way. Now Darr at the basketball, puts up a 3. Bang! Preston Darr. How do you do?
Come into the game, throw 3, let's go.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Wolves. Johnsonburg able to get some momentum entering the second quarter, but Preston Darr silences him with the 3. And that shot is no good by number 10, Parker Kalla. Gets his own rebound, and now he gets it again. Yates unable to get it, and it rolls into Talon Schaefer on the Wolves bench, so it'll be Wolves basketball.
Boy, they're letting them play down there a little bit. There's a lot of bumping and grinding down there. You know, Yates was being solid down there and just got outboxed a little bit, but he stayed solid and kept them from getting the next rebound.
But they're letting them play on both sides of the floor. That's what matters.
Yeah, it's being called the same way. I love it.
Wenzel, a wide open corner three, unable to connect. Eric Novosel able to save the day with the rebound.
And we got a
Corey Dar.
timeout. I think he was buried down in there with no help anywhere.
So head coach Corey Dar calls a timeout. Kane leads 20-13 with 5:57 to play in the second quarter. Overall, I know the last set of free throws wasn't what the Wolves wanted, but overall, they've been pretty productive from the free throw line. Definitely much better than their usual production at the free throw line. They found a way to limit their own turnovers, and they've been very aggressive in trying to create Johnsonburg turning over the ball. They've done so to a mild extent, and it's caused the Wolves they've seen a lot of their shots fall. Nate McCormick, whether it be a floater underneath the basket, Preston Dar from three. Either way, the Wolves, they're finding a way to make their shots fall. They lead Johnsonburg 20-13, and we've said this throughout this broadcast, Chris. If you're going to beat the Johnsonburg Rams, what better time to do it now when you're on a 5-game winning streak entering the game? You have everything to play for.
Yeah, keep it going. Keep this up. I like we're rotating the players in, getting everybody some rest. I just like what we're doing so far. I like what we're doing on offense and defense.
But the Rams certainly have a lot of responses in them.
Yeah, they don't have the record they do without knowing how to play basketball.
Absolutely. 13-8 record.
Yeah.
Ticket to the postseason's already punched, but obviously they're looking to end their season on a strong note. Eric Novosel, the inbound passer, finds Dar. Solid pump fake. He dishes it back out to Novosel. Novosel drives into his left, finds Wenzel. Wenzel back over to Dar. 5:45 to play. The Wolves lead 20-13. Chris Yates in the post. A beautiful pass by Dar. And Chris Yates finishes for the Wolves.
Beautifully set up there. I saw it coming from right here what was going to happen. And, again, pass to Yates right in. Give the assist to Dar. Yates with two.
Now Kala, very good at getting his own rebounds.
Get him on the foul.
Also very good at drawing fouls, Chris.
Yep.
Couldn't have done it at a better time. That's exactly what I was about to say. And now he's heading to the free throw line to shoot two yet again for the Rams.
Yep, and that's two on Yates.
Man, Parker Kala is being a menace in the best way towards the Wolves.
Without a doubt. And his free throw shooting has been
elite.
Pretty good.
And Kala once again sinks the free throw, cuts the Rams deficit to 8. Keller Chamberlain will check in for Brock Wenzel, so both Chamberlains are on the court for the Wolves. 5:29 to play. Kane leads Johnsonburg 22-14. Kala puts up the free throw, and nothing but net once again.
Smooth.
Man, with how he's shooting, you might think he's able to do that with his eyes closed.
Yeah, how about it? Very smooth, nothing but net every time he shot.
Now Chamberlain gives it over to Dar, 5:15 to play in the half. Preston Dar puts up a shot, and he draws the foul.
Yep.
A smart play by Dar. Not able to get the shot to fall, but he heads to the free throw line for the Wolves.
Draws the foul. It's the first on... I don't have a 30. Oh, we do have it. Lewis. Okay. First on Lewis. Each team has 2 fouls apiece.
And Dar not able to get that shot to fall. Lewis checks out, and in comes number 1, Aiden Galsick, a junior for the Rams. Awaiting the second free throw from Dar. His team up by 7, and unable to connect, rolls in and out of the rim. And Kala gets the rebound. And now here comes Stauffer going the other way for the Rams. He's guarded by Wenzel. Stauffer dishes it out to Newman. Newman finds Stauffer, and Stauffer finesses the defense with the right-handed layup.
Yeah, that was just a nice move by him, getting around our defenders.
Now Dar drives it on Newman, puts up the corner shot, unable to get it to fall. And Newman comes down with the rebound for the Rams. 4:40 to play. Stauffer gives it to Hunter Newman, the junior. Now he dishes it back in the paint to Kala, and he doesn't connect. So Preston Dar gets the rebound. The Rams back off on defense, allow some breathing room for the Wolves to reach half court. And Dar's guarded by Galsick, finds Yates. Yates gives it over to Chamberlain. It's stripped away by Galsick. And now Galsick finds Stauffer. Stauffer looking to score for the Rams, the conductor of this offense, it seems. Stauffer drives in, right-handed layup, not able to get it to fall. Chris Yates with the strong rebound, and now Finn Chamberlain going the other way for the Wolves. He stopped in his tracks, And after a lot of action, Hunter Newman, it rolls off of his leg. The pass was stolen by him, but he was unable to get possession of the basketball. It rolled into the Wolves bench, so it'll remain Kane Wolves basketball with 3:56 to play. Kane leads Johnsonburg 22-17 here on WXCY.
Timeout for I think the Wolves took that timeout.
And that's a 30-second timeout for the Wolves. So overall, small sample size, relatively speaking, in the second quarter. The free throw shooting is definitely not quite as on point as it was the first quarter for the Wolves, Chris.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that, but that was one of the keys to the game is you got to make those, and that's something that, you just got to go into the gym and throw 100 of them. 100 shots every practice, 100 free throws till you get those. We were talking about that a little bit the other night at the game, and it's just something you have to be part of your daily ritual.
Waiting to get this game resumed once again. 3:56 to play in the first half. An exciting game so far, with momentum swinging both ways. Right now, as it stands, Kane leads 22-17, a 5-point lead for the 9-11 Wolves. They are hosting the 13-8 Johnsonburg Rams. A very strong crowd tonight, a strong student section as well on this Friday night. Chamberlain picks up the dribble, finds Nate McCormick. McCormick fakes the pass, and now that one stays in bounds, almost rolled out. And Johnsonburg calls the timeout.
Yeah, I think we'll see it on the replay here on our stream, but there might have been a travel over there before that happened. I think he called the timeout before he got that. So timeout for the Rams. They'll get the possession here, coming back out of the timeout, and that's exactly what it was. They're on the nowhere to go. And call the timeout before they could call the travel.
And that's just a classic situation, Chris, of a coach just helping out the player in the middle of the situation.
Two guys were down buried in the corner, and there's nobody there to help. So it's either another turnover right by our hoop or call the timeout, keep possession. In a very close game, 22-17, your Wolves lead.
Cole Peterson is the head coach for this Johnsonburg Rams team. His assistant is Louis Imbrogno. And they also have a couple of more coaches and statisticians.
I think we counted like 5 guys over there that were helping or assisting coaching in some way, shape, or form.
3:36 to play in the first half. The Rams have the basketball. Pass was inbounded to number 4, Noah Stauffer. He's guarded by Finn Chamberlain. Chamberlain coming off of his strongest 2-game stretch of the season, statistically speaking. Now Hunter Newman gives it to Sam Lewis. Lewis gives it over to Stauffer, right-handed layup. It looks like McCormick might have had a hand on that one. A 3 for Gausick, not able to make it, but Stauffer gets the rebound, doesn't make it, gets his own rebound again, and a 4th chance opportunity for the Rams.
And that's what Coach Starr had his hands on his head there, wondering, where are my guys at? What are we doing down there?
Stauffer makes the layup. Keller Chamberlain unable to respond. That ball did not roll in on the right-hander.
It had opportunity, just couldn't go down.
2:45 to play. Kane leads Johnsonburg 22-19 in the first half. Noah Stauffer with the ball, guarded by Chamberlain, pokes it away. And Chamberlain, he's working hard on defense. Stauffer puts up a beautiful right-handed layup. He had to transition his hand angle mid-air, guarded by 2 Wolves defenders, and it just doesn't matter, Chris.
It didn't matter. It went right on in. Right now, momentum is going with the Rams at the moment.
And that was exquisite by number 4, Noah Stauffer. A 3 for Novacell, not able to connect. And Gausick gets the rebound. And this Rams team starting to build some momentum.
They are.
They've cut their deficit to 1, still in favor of the Wolves. Lewis with the basketball. Finds Newman. Newman back over to Gausick for 3.
Oh, boy.
He hits the shots.
There's been a lid on the rim so far for the Wolves most of this quarter.
Aiden Gausick gives the Rams their first lead of the game. Chamberlain puts up a shot, not able to connect. Now Stauffer going the other way, and he uses his speed to create a 1-on-0 opportunity. And just like that, Chris, the Rams with a 2-possession, 4-point lead, 1:44 to play in the first half. Johnsonburg now with the lead, 26-22.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were saying. This is a seasoned team here, so they get that momentum going, and they're just going to keep it going. Great timeout by Coach Starr. Settle the guys down. We have 1:45 to go here in the half. Let's get a nice possession. Get down there. Let's get a score. We don't have to go to shooting the 3 right away if it's not an open shot.
And one of the many reasons why Johnsonburg is 13-8 and such a strong team in the District 9 is because of the play that you just saw right there, or heard from Aiden Gausick. His team down by 1. They have the momentum. He gets the relatively open 3, and he hits the shot. That's what the great teams do, Chris. That's what Johnsonburg just did. Props to them.
Yeah, they saw it. They got it. And, now it's a two-possession game here with a minute 44 to go.
So Johnsonburg still laying off on the defense comparatively to the first quarter. Preston Darr, the ball handler for the Wolves, finds Novosel. Novosel in the post to Darr. Darr puts up a shot. He is fouled.
There you go.
And you can count that one for an and one.
And there we go, talking about it. Work the play in, and the players make plays. And Darr just made one of those plays.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Kane Wolves. Number 32 for Johnsonburg, Jude Schreiber, checks in for number 3, Cade Peterson.
And I'd really like to see us win this. Okay.
And
Don't need to win the rebound. He got it.
Sinks the free throw, cuts the Wolves' deficit back down to 1:25 to play. Noah Stauffer finds Kala in the post. He's guarded by McCormick and Bosher. It just doesn't matter. A left-handed layup falls for Parker Kala. Been one of the stars this season and in the first half for Johnsonburg. Extends the Rams' lead back to 3, 1:05 to play. And Novosel, that pass is plucked in the air by Schreiber. And now Stauffer going the opposite direction for Johnsonburg. Finds Kala. Kala back over to number 24, Aiden DeMay. And now he finds Stauffer. 50 seconds to play. He backs off, trying to let a play develop. Stauffer drives to his right, puts up a layup, and a nice block by McCormick, except Stauffer gets his own rebound opposite side of the backboard, and he puts it up and in. Got 32 seconds to play in the first half. Your Kane Wolves trail by 5. And what's been a very exciting game, and the momentum has been like a pendulum.
Steal there by the Rams.
Yep, Johnsonburg gets the steal, and now Stauffer, if he wants to, he can make this the last possession of this first half. 15 seconds to play. Johnsonburg up 30-25 on the Wolves. Sam Lewis with the basketball. And now Stauffer, 7 seconds to play now, guarded by Chamberlain. Stauffer, 5 seconds down, 4. Stauffer gives it to Aiden DeMay. He's got the proper shot, finds Stauffer for 3, and he's not able to connect. So at the end of the first half, the momentum has swung back and forth like a pendulum, but it's the Johnsonburg Rams who lead your Kane Wolves 30-25.
And with that, we'll take it back to the studio for a few words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here with the second half.
The Wolfpack and businesses like these. Dine Excavating. Their services include gravel and limestone, topsoil, and septic tanks. Located on Route 6 west of Kane, their phone number is 814-837-6990. Kane Lumber and Fuel True Value Hardware. Building supplies, lighting, winter snow, and ice removal products at their location on Hemlock Avenue in Kane. Zook Motors, with new and pre-owned vehicles and a service and parts department. They're online at zookmotors.net. The Photo and Sound Shop, Kane's Radio Shack dealer on Fraley Street, providing sales and in-home installation of smart TVs and electronics. W.E. Swanson Insurance Agency, offering auto, homeowners, and business insurance at 23 Fraley Street in Kane. WESwansonAgency.com. Field Street Boots in Kane, a dealer for Carhartt and Timberline clothing, as well as winter footwear and sporting goods. They're on Facebook under Field Street Boots. Lindbergh Furniture, Route 219 north of Johnsonburg, and now Lindbergh Sleep Center at 410 Center Street in downtown Johnsonburg. More info at lindberghfurniture.biz. We thank these sponsors and friends like you for supporting Kane Wolves basketball coverage on 1017 XZY.
We listen all day. This is my music.
Always loud and clear.
WXCY LP Kane.
From uptown Kane to the world. Listen live on your mobile device at WXZYradio.com or on your Amazon smart speaker. Tell it to play WXZY.
Let's start this party.
Always connected to Kane. We are 1017 XZY.
From your Weather Authority Jet 24, I'm meteorologist Tom Atkins. Here's a look at your Kane area forecast. No problems with the weather tonight. Partly to mostly cloudy, cold but dry, a low near 10 degrees. Saturday, cloudy. Snow or freezing rain developing mid to late afternoon, high temperatures of 29. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain across the area on Saturday night. 1 to 3 inches of accumulation of snow and up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. Won't be quite as cold on your Saturday night with a low of 23. The outlook for Sunday, a chance of some leftover snow showers in the morning, little additional accumulation, but mostly cloudy, and a high of 29 in the afternoon. Make it a good and safe weekend from Jet 24. I'm meteorologist Tom Atkins on 1017 XZY.
I'm Ed Rose, and this is Citizen Kane. Each week on this broadcast, I uncover little-known facts and forgotten memories from the hilltop. This week's program remembers life in Kane in 1919, 100 years ago. World War I was thought to be the war to end all wars. In the years that immediately followed, there was a growing feeling that U.S. industry and large corporations, institutions that were vital to American war efforts, were sprawling out of control. Americans wanted to move the country forward and forge change for the better. The progressive era in the United States, which gained traction in Kane in 1919, was a widespread and far-reaching attempt at social, political, and spiritual reform. Along with the rest of the country, Kane was already on the brink of prohibition and going dry. Local events that year were part of an awakening, the dawning of a new age. Throughout 1919, various high-profile entertainers, artists, sports figures, and evangelists came to town, and local thought leader Elisha K. Kane, son of General Thomas Kane, shared his own personal vision for America. Elisha Kane proposed an income redistribution plan through which families would be subsidized based on the number of children living in the home. He boldly recommended to Congress that $1.5 billion be put in a maintenance account into which employers would pay. That way, wages could be standardized. Mothers would also earn hourly pay for caring for family needs. While his ideas did not come to pass, a series of sweeping social welfare programs would be enacted beginning in 1933 as part of FDR's New Deal. The year was a high watermark for the town of Kane on the local stage as the hugely popular Columbia Quartet visited the Temple Theater. The group's most successful recordings included Let Me Call You Sweetheart, Sweet Adeline, By the Light of the Silvery Moon, Over There, and I Want a Girl Just Like the Girl That Married Dear Old Dad. In all, the group had the equivalent of over 100 top 10 recordings between 1904 and 1926. One of the earliest and most successful music groups, according to Wikipedia, the quartet are acknowledged as a major influence on the development of barbershop vocal harmony music. Additionally, world-famous concert stars Barbara Morell and Oscar Siegel graced the Temple stage. Morell, the prima donna mezzo-soprano of the Boston Opera Company, and Siegel, the silky smooth baritone of the day, were both top Columbia record artists. On the sports front, the big news for 1919 was the visit by George Sisler. Nicknamed Gorgeous George, Sisler came to town with a group of barnstormers after the conclusion of the baseball season and the infamous 1919 World Series, when gamblers threatened to ruin the integrity of the national pastime. According to the Society of American Baseball Research, Sisler was arguably the greatest first baseman of the 20th century. In his later years as a coach with the Pirates, Sisler worked with future stars Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell to hone their batting skills. One of the earliest members of the Baseball Hall of Fame, Sisler was inducted at Cooperstown in 1939. And in what was a Renaissance year in Kane, perhaps the biggest event of 1919 was the more than 3-week campaign by the famous Presbyterian evangelist William Edward Beeterwolf. In November of 1919, Beeterwolf set up shop in local churches, schools, and factories, and on street corners and anywhere else he could draw a crowd to deliver his cautionary message to Kane residents. Consistent with the progressive narratives of the time, he felt strongly that America was not advancing fast enough and not properly addressing social health and welfare problems. A charismatic speaker, Beeterwolf delivered a strong message of the importance of self-improvement in civic reform. Like his peer, the Reverend Billy Sunday, Beeterwolf emphasized the role of prohibition and tended to meld patriotism with religion, according to Wikipedia. Ever a student, Beeterwolf was a firm believer in serious reading and regularly carried a book under his arm to make use of otherwise wasted moments. His sermons were written out word for word and memorized, but his delivery was so fluent that listeners were unaware of his preparation. Sandwiched between the end of the Great War and the recession that followed in the spring of 1920, the events of the year 1919 provided a brief respite from worry and a glimmer of hope for the future in Kane and in America. Well, that's all for this week, friends. Please send your story ideas and suggestions to citizenkanepa@gmail.com. And thank you for listening.
WXCY LP Kane.
Connected to Kane with a mix of great music and things you need to know. We are 1017 XZY.
Welcome back to the Wolves Den. I'm Braden Byam, joined by Chris Nicholas. The Kane Wolves currently trail the Johnsonburg Rams 30-25. Kane led at the end of the first quarter at a score of 15-10. At one point they led 11-4, but Johnsonburg in about the last 9 or 10 minutes of game clock have outdueled the Wolves in every facet of the game. However, overall, Kane is doing much better today at the free throw line. They are doing much better at getting second chance opportunities. However, the difference in why Kane was up by 5 after one quarter and now down by 5 entering the second half is simply because the production with those free throws, with the second chance opportunities, even though they're better now comparatively, they're better now comparatively compared to previous games, but they were better in the first quarter than they were in the second quarter of this game. That's why you see the 5-point lead in favor of the Rams right now, Chris.
Yeah, and that's a 10-point swing there for the Rams. So, what do we need to do going back out? We need to get back to what we did in the first quarter. We need to get to that intensity level there, and it's going to take digging deep. It's going to take digging deep. The Rams are at 13-8 for no reason. This is their last game of the year. Can only play 22 games, so it is the last game for the Rams. But these Wolves, if they want it, they got to go play it here. And they got to get it.
It is one step at a time. However, in terms of the playoffs, they have to win out. They have Johnsonburg now and then Clarion on Monday, and the Rams start things off with a left-handed layup by Parker Kalla to extend their lead to 7 points. Now Preston Darr with the chance to respond for the Wolves. He's guarded by Stauffer.
They're coming out tight here for the Rams are out front, right on the Wolves.
But much more aggressive in the second quarter, that's for sure. Now Wenzel almost stripped away, able to regain possession. Now he finds Chamberlain. Chamberlain looked like he was going for the pass, but he was stuffed by the rim.
He was stuffed by something there.
Either the rim or the net, or a combination of both, but nonetheless, it results in a fortunate Rams turnover, and Parker Kalla, a beautiful right-handed layup. He wasn't even facing the backboard. And the Rams come out on fire so far, extend their lead to 9. Kane really needs to see a bucket fall right now. And Darr with the opportunity to do that finds Novosel. Back over to Darr. It's stolen by number 34, Sam Lewis. And Lewis put up the shot, not able to connect. A fortunate bounce for the Wolves. Now Darr finds Chamberlain. Back over to McCormick. McCormick puts up the right-handed layup. Shot. And he gets the scoring started for the Wolves in a well-needed bucket in the second half.
Yeah, stop the bleeding a little bit there for the Wolves. Nice defense there by Novosel on the back end there. Going straight up and not drawing any foul. They're not getting a foul.
Lewis finds Kala in the post, puts up the left-handed layup. No doubt about it, Chris. Parker Kala.
He's there to play.
He's entering beast mode right now.
Without a doubt.
Now Dar finds Wenzel. 6:15 to play in the third quarter. Johnsonburg leads Kane 36-27. Very well-attended game for the Rams, also for the Wolves. The ball stolen by Stauffer. And it looks like they're going to call that a defensive foul on Finn Chamberlain. Stauffer drives into him. They call the foul on Chamberlain, and now his brother Keller Chamberlain checks in. Also Tyson Bostrich checking in, and out goes number 3, Brock Wenzel. And once again, the very last home contest here on WXCY for the varsity boys season. We still have 2 more girls games to go on Monday against St. Mary's and then Wednesday against Smethport. Wolves looking to win out here to get a playoff spot in an 11-11 record if they do so. Shot's no good. Novosel gets the steal. And now McCormick looks to put up a shot. It's stripped away. Boschert able to recover. Some nice teamwork there. And now Novosel calms things down. He's guarded by number 24, Aiden DeMay. Gives it over to Dar, but Dar back over to Keller Chamberlain, the freshman. Chamberlain picks up his dribble, has to give it back to Dar. And Dar, a risky pass, but it works out well to McCormick. He finds Boschert. Now a cross-court pass over to Chamberlain. And Chamberlain finds Dar at the three-point line. He's guarded well by Peterson. Dar now over to Novosel. Fakes the shot, drives in, puts up the shot now. Not able to connect. And that ball's on the ground, and it's going to be DeMay who gets the rebound. And now Sam Lewis. Oh, what a play by Sam Lewis. He was fouled on the shot, guarded by Boschert and Chamberlain. And that ball, probably because both Chamberlain and Boschert were there, somehow, some way, goes up towards the backboard and in.
It goes up and in, and that's going to be an end-one opportunity.
And man, that was a great play by Sam Lewis. Also a fortunate play by Sam Lewis.
It just rolled in nice. Just watched it on the replay here. What a nice move there by Lewis.
Lewis not able to connect the free throw. Boschert gets the rebound. Johnsonburg leads by 11. 38-27 is the score. 4:55 to play in the third quarter. Finn Chamberlain with a 3. Not able to convert. And Chamberlain keeps it in play, but the Rams get the rebound. It's Sam Lewis, number 34, the senior. And now Stauffer guarded by Chamberlain. Drives to his left, gives it out to Kala. Kala finds Lewis in the post, and Lewis a left-handed layup, and they are really winning this post battle, Chris, to start this second half.
They are. They're just getting down in there, and the Wolves have nothing to stop them right now. Oh, boy.
That pass to Yates was rejected by Kala, but it rolls out of bounds off of his hand. It'll remain Wolves basketball, and head coach Corey Dar is going to call a timeout. His team down by 13 now with 4:24 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, just like that. It goes boom, boom, boom. The Rams said in the locker room, we're coming out there. We're going to keep the pressure on. And they even played a lot more on defense. They're coming out a lot further on their zone defense there against the Wolves.
And to really put into context the momentum that Johnsonburg has right now, as I said at the end of the first quarter, Kane led 15-10. You do the math, Johnsonburg has outscored Kane 30-12 ever since then.
Boy, you didn't have to do that, did you?
You're more than doubling
tough,
their point production. It is tough. But
that's tough, but that's what this Rams team does, and they've had our number for a number of years, and we got to get over that hump. We got to get over that and come out here and just play some ball. And it only takes one basket, one turnover. Let's get that. Let's stop the Rams, and let's go from there. You can't look at the big picture and say, we got to get all these points right now. You got to do one opportunity first.
Exactly, Chris. This game, just like any game, but especially this game, it's been all about momentum. Both teams just getting a whirlwind of momentum, it seems like. There's not really any medium where both teams share even a little bit of it. So all the Wolves need to do, get a couple shots to fall, get back into this basketball game, and based on the nature of the game, that very well could be all they need. Now Novosel finds Yates in the post, back out to Keller Chamberlain. Now he finds his brother Finn Chamberlain. He drives up, finds Boschert. Guarded very low. Yates finds the hole in the defense, and he puts up the uncontested left-handed layup.
There wasn't anybody within 10 feet of him, it didn't look like. He cleared out his lane there and just had a nice shot. Nice look in, too.
Some finesse moves by Chris Yates, able to result in 2 for the Wolves. Now Kala guarded well by Yates, and Yates wears the number 21. He finds Newman. Now Newman over to Lewis. Lewis back out to Stauffer. And Stauffer holds on to the ball now. 3:35 to play. Johnsonburg leads 40-29. Schreiber with the basketball, guarded by Novosel, gives it over to Stauffer.
Oh, that's close.
Johnsonburg's the more senior-laden team. A block by Boschert on Lewis.
And a foul on Lewis?
Yep, a foul on Lewis after Boschert gets the block. Johnsonburg backs off on defense once again, so now multiple possessions where they've done that. Lewis checks out of the game from number 3, Cade Peterson. But as I said, Kane, only 2 seniors, but 2 very effective seniors. One in the post, Chris Yates, 1 ball handler, Brock Wenzel. And Johnsonburg, on the other hand, you look at their roster, senior.
It's all seniors,
a lot of seniors. If it's not a senior, it's probably a junior.
Yep.
Literally every single player on their roster is a senior or a junior on their varsity roster at least. So a very experienced team. You can definitely see it with the way they play.
What do we have? Kick maybe? Maybe we had a kick. That's the only thing it could be because we maintain possession.
Finn Chamberlain's the inbound passer, 3 minutes to play. Johnsonburg leads Kane 40-29. Chamberlain with the basketball finds his brother Keller Chamberlain. Now Keller Chamberlain back over to Finn Chamberlain. Got to make sure we specify first names around here now.
We had a jump ball. That's what we had. I just watched on replay. We had a jump ball there.
Now Novosel gives it over to Finn Chamberlain, guarded by Newman. Chamberlain drives up into the post, puts up a left-handed layup. Yates able to get a little piece of it. It falls into Boschert's hands, and now Keller Chamberlain drives up, drives in, finds his brother Finn. And now Novosel for 3, hits the shot.
There you go.
A clutch, well-needed shot by Eric Novosel cuts the deficit to 8. Huge play.
Nice shot, and I like that shot. Take it there. It was open, working the ball around, nothing doing underneath. Take the shot.
The patience of the Wolves offense created that shot right there, Chris. And now Peterson for 3. Not able to connect. Stauffer gets the rebound, and he puts up the left-handed layup. And layups, Johnsonburg so efficient at it, even contested.
Contested, falling away from the hoop.
Now Finn Chamberlain thought about the 3, drives up into the post, puts up the floater, not able to get it to fall. And Stauffer gets it off of the ricochet. 1:40 to play here in the third quarter. Johnsonburg leads 42-32 over the Kane Wolves. They need this win to stay alive for postseason contention. Now Stauffer puts up a 3. Bang!
Boy.
Noah Stauffer letting the crowd know about that one.
And that was 4 feet off the line at least.
He connects for 3. And now Chamberlain looking for somebody to pass to. He gives it to Novosel. Novosel finds Boschert in the post, back out to Chamberlain, back to Novosel. Novosel pump fakes, now drives to his right, gives it over to Keller Chamberlain. Keller Chamberlain puts up a shot. It's blocked by Kala. And it rolls out of bounds off of his hands. It will remain Rams basketball. They have a wave of substitutions. Looks like Newman, Stauffer, and Peterson coming out for the Rams. They lead by 13. Preston Darge is going to check in for Finn Chamberlain. With 1:08 to play in this third quarter, Johnsonburg leads by 13 in a very back-and-forth game. Novosel looking for somebody to pass to, just finds Boschert. And
just
now
in the nick of time, too.
Keller Chamberlain gives it over to Preston Dar. Loses control of his dribble, gives it back to Chamberlain. Keller Chamberlain drives up into the post, and yes, he is fouled clearly on that one. Looks like they're going to call it a shooting foul. Yes, they will. So Keller Chamberlain heading to the line. His team down by 13 with 57.3 to play in the third quarter.
And that's the first foul on Gelsick from the Rams. Each team has 2 fouls apiece here in the third.
Chamberlain sinks the first free throw, gets some high fives from his teammates. And Keller Chamberlain, very fundamentally sound basketball player. He hits his second free throw. No announcer jinx on that one.
No.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, right? As it's coming out of your mouth, it went through, so that was good.
Now DeMay with the basketball for the Rams, a senior. Gives it to Schreiber. Schreiber, that pass is tipped and intercepted by Novosel. He finds Dar coast to coast. Right-handed layup goes in for the Wolves. Some nice teamwork by Novosel and Dar on the fast break opportunity. Went New York to LA on that one.
It was all the way, wasn't it?
Now DeMay finds Kala. Back out to DeMay, 23 seconds to play. 45-36 is the score in favor of the visiting Johnsonburg Rams in a rivalry that has run deep for decades.
And I'd say they're holding for last shot.
Got 10 seconds now. DeMay still with the basketball. Now he finds number 14, Will Emquist, a junior, and he loses that basketball on the pass. It goes out of bounds, and it gives the Wolves an opportunity here with 4.5 to play.
We can do it, right?
We certainly can do it. It's just
coach is saying no, stand up and get that press on and not get a shot.
Johnsonburg remains in the press. Novosel able to find Keller Chamberlain. 1 second now. Dar puts up a three-pointer, and it was worth the effort, but Preston Dar unable to connect. End of 3 quarters. Johnsonburg leads 45-36.
We'd like to thank our basketball friends of the Wolfpack: Pam Wright, Braden Navanelli, Thomas Walker, Joan Walker, Peter Galvin, John Galvin, Dave and Laura Galvin, Perky and Denny Galvin, Todd Stanko, Kristen and Brian Weimer, Keith and Linda Regal, John and Christy Dar, Tim and Cheryl Maloney of Erie, PA, Matt Gailey, Don and Kathy Payne, Barb and Jim Kimbrough, Elijah Sadie and Macy Truman, Rick Fisher in memory of longtime sports supporter Jack Rubin, Doug Ewing, Ron Carty, Ariana Graville, Jack and Linda Hedlund, Bill McDade, Kathy Haight, Jen D'Angelo, an American Income Life Insurance agent, Raven Andiger, Misty Slater, and Lindsay Novosel, Woodside Oils. We'd like to thank our friends of the Wolfpack. To get your name on this list for our last 2 remaining games of the regular season, you can drop off your tax-deductible donation at the Radio Shack Photo and Sound Shop in Uptown Kane, or you can go to WXZYradio.com and click on WXZYradio.com and click on that PayPal link. And we also accept Venmo at WXZY Radio. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do these games, keep the lights on, keep the transmitter transmitting. We are a 501c3 non-profit, non-commercial radio station, and donations and listeners like all of you what keeps us going. Wolves are down 36-45. Here we go on the 4th.
Stauffer has the basketball for the Rams. He gives it over to Peterson. Peterson back out to Stauffer. And he's content to just hold this basketball, wait for somebody to come get him. Might be the strategy for the Rams potentially. You never really know. There's no shot clock in the PIAA. They could use that to their advantage if they'd like. Now DeMay looking to push the ball inward. Finds Peterson, now gives it to Kala. And Kala, left-handed layup, misses one. A shocker on that one. Now he puts it up again, also misses again. But now Lewis with the rebound, and he is fouled on the shot. So a third chance opportunity for Johnsonburg. Sends number 34, the senior Sam Lewis, to the line.
And that is the 3rd foul on Yates tonight. So he's got 3 in the night.
And well, Chris, it goes without saying, but this is why you practice. This is why you played the entire season as Lewis hits the first free throw to extend the Rams lead 10. You play for moments like these. This is the very last home varsity matchup, regardless of if you win or lose. The last home matchup. You have 2 seniors, Brock Wenzel, Chris Yates. All those hours they spent playing basketball for Kane, and all of those years, all of the hours, all of the blood, sweat, maybe even some of the tears, everything that comes with it, all on the line right now. You have to win 2 in a row to get into the postseason. It all starts with 1, and now they have to come back down from 11 to beat Johnsonburg as the second free throw is made. Now Dar with the basketball finds Chamberlain for 3. Not able to connect Finn Chamberlain. It's tipped by Yates over to Novosel. It's no good. But they are going to call a shooting foul on the Rams. It'll send Eric Novosel to the line. One thing I'm noticing tonight, Chris, is Chris Yates, person who shares the same first name as you, actually, he's doing a very, very good job. If he's not able to get the rebound, tipping the ball towards a teammate who is open to get the rebound.
Yeah, and that's something that's changed throughout the season, and that went all the rim and the through for Novosel. But yeah, he's changed quite a bit, and that's from the start of the season where he's kind of timid to right now where it's like, man, he is one of the leaders out there, without a doubt.
Absolutely, Novosel, unlucky bounce, not able to get that second free throw to fall, so the lead still remains 10 in favor of Johnsonburg. 47-37 is the score. 6:45 to play in this basketball game. The Wolves, it's all or nothing right here. They're on a 5-game winning streak. Johnsonburg's on a 2-game winning streak. The Rams have defeated the Wolves 7 out of their last 8 contests. They beat them earlier 50-24 this year. Dar gets the steal. Novosel for 3. Not able to connect. He had an opportunity. It looked from our distance like it might have went in, but no cigar for Eric Novosel. Now the Rams with the ball. It's Stauffer. He's guarded by Chamberlain. Finds Kala in the post, and that ball's running wild. Goes over to the scorer's table, and that'll be Wolves basketball.
Turnover Rams.
Stops the clock at 6:13. That's what we've been saying throughout this broadcast, Chris. You have to find a way to minimize your mistakes and create mistakes for your opponents to fall into that trap. Great example right there.
Down 10.
6:05 to play. Yates in the post, puts up a shot, not able to fall. And Kala gets the uncontested rebound. And Stauffer being very intentional about being very slow, dribbling up this court.
I was just going to say that. A lot of difference from where the game started, but they're still pressing, man.
Kala misses the shot. Yates with the rebound.
Right out to the outlet.
Now Finn Chamberlain finds Preston Dar, gives it over to Eric Novosel. 5:40 to play, finds Yates in the post. And Stauffer with the heads-up play, able to create the turnover. And now he's heading the other way for Johnsonburg.
It's a good look, just wasn't there.
Very, very fast basketball player. 5:25 to play. Peterson with the basketball, back over to Stauffer, who's guarded by Chamberlain. Gives it to Kala, guarded by McCormick. Kala puts up a left-handed layup, a nice rejection by McCormick. And Dar able to come away with the rebound and the basketball. 5:05 to play in the basketball game. The Wolves trail by 10. All on the line for this varsity boys basketball team. Preston Dar, 4:55 to play. Now, you don't have to be super anxious about trying to score the ball quick, but you do want to make sure your possessions aren't super duper lengthy.
Yeah.
Now Novosel finds McCormick in the post, puts on a move, puts up a fadeaway shot, not able to get it. Novosel gets the rebound back over to McCormick. A three for Dar. Oh, not able to connect. And the Rams get the rebound. And it looks like the timeout was called.
Timeout. Rams. It had to be the Rams. They had possession. So timeout by the Rams. That is going to be a full timeout. 4:41 to go. 4:31 to go. 4:31 to go, let's call it.
There we go.
Down by 10, 37-47, the Rams lead. Time is starting to be a little bit of not an ally for the Wolves.
Especially considering that Johnsonburg, and rightfully so, they're being very intentional about making sure that they're taking all the time in the world that they need to cross that half-court line.
Yeah, and they're not running and gunning, but they're not afraid to work the play down low either right away once they get down here.
And if you're the Wolves, you only have one foul with 4:31 to play in this fourth quarter. If you want to, you can't be super duper aggressive with it and rack up some team fouls, but you could press to try to prevent Johnsonburg stalling the game, taking as long as they possibly could to try to actually let the play develop. That's a good way to stop that if you're Coach Dar. You'd imagine that possibly, since Johnsonburg called this timeout.
Yeah, you got three fouls to give. After the fourth one, the Rams will be going to the line for two. And I'll tell you what, I don't think we want to see the Rams at the line to score with no time on the clock. They've been very good from the free throw line.
And a big problem for the Wolves is that arguably their most efficient free throw shooter, Parker Kala, is a post player. And usually it's the post players who are heading to the free throw line.
Yep. So we'll see what happens here after that timeout.
Play resumes. Johnsonburg leads 47-37. No press for the Wolves. Schreiber gives it back over to Stauffer. Noah Stauffer, a senior. As I said earlier, the conductor of this Rams offense. Now DeMay, guarded by Chamberlain, finds Schreiber. Schreiber penetrates in the post, gives it back out to DeMay. Now DeMay has some space. He finds Stauffer. And some nice heads-up defense by Novosel to stop Stauffer in his tracks. 4 minutes to play now. Stauffer tries to get the screen from Kala. Not able to quite get that. And now DeMay, and they really are. They're not even trying to push this ball into the post unless if somebody is wide open, of course.
They're doing a great job of keeping it away. And
Novosel pokes it out, but DeMay is able to recover. 3:40 to play now. Now he finds Sam Lewis, guarded by Dar. Lewis tries to put on a post move. He does, and he draws the foul.
It's probably going to be on McCormick. He might have had him on the arm there.
And
see
Lewis,
if that's who was called on.
He was looking for that one, looking for spacing. He got it, and he knew that it was a great opportunity to try to draw that foul. He does just that. Now Sam Lewis heading to the line, another efficient free throw shooter for the Rams. Sinks the first free throw, nothing but net. 3:36 to play. Johnsonburg leads 48-37. They've outscored Kane 18-12 at half.
A rare miss by the Rams on a free throw.
Now Dar, 3:27 to play with the basketball. one of the predominant ball handlers for this Wolves team, gives it to Finn Chamberlain. Now over to the senior, Brock Wenzel. Wenzel back over to Dar. 3:15 to play. Finds Wenzel once again. Cross-court pass is intercepted by DeMay, and he's going the other way, but he calms things down. He sticks to the coach's game plan. And now Stauffer once again, not even close to the three-point line. Very content with keeping this basketball. Schreiber gives it back to Stauffer. And again, at some point, you got to find a way to try to puck the...
I was just going to say they're closer to the half-court line there than they are the three.
Now Stauffer once again with the basketball after a couple of passes. Looks like Tyson Boshert's getting ready to check in for the Wolves. Stauffer finds Kala in the post. A great pass, but a great block. It looked like by McCormick. Just barely able to stop that layup. A huge play for Kane. 2:33 to play. A three from Wenzel. Oh, not able to connect. Kala gets the rebound. And now time. It already was a negative factor for the Wolves.
Big time.
Yeah, it is big time. Potentially fatal if they don't find a way to get this ball away from the Johnsonburg offense. Stauffer doing a great job playing keep away along with the rest of the Rams. 2:10 to play now. Also like to make a correction. Johnsonburg has outscored Kane 23-12 in the second half so far. And Kala gets the foul call. It looks like it's going to go on Nate McCormick.
That'll be his third, yep. Third foul on McCormick.
So if 2:03 to play, 48-37 is the score in favor of the visiting Johnsonburg Rams. Parker Kala heading to the free throw line. He's had a very, very productive night. Very typical of him. Misses the first free throw.
Well,
announcer jinx in favor of the WXCY supporters. There we go. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, but they have been very good. They've missed maybe 2, maybe 3 on the night. Percentage up in the 70s, if not 80s. 80%.
Kala, second free throw.
Okay,
again,
well,
doesn't get
let's
it.
just, I'll just keep talking.
Sam Lewis gets the rebound. It's blocked by Boschert on the left-handed layup. And now Dar gets it off the ricochet. And the Wolves have to go now. It's all or nothing right now, all on the line. Finn Chamberlain drives up into the post, dishes it out to Novosel. 1:45 to play. Wolves trail by 11. Finds McCormick back out to Chamberlain. At some point, you got to take a shot pretty quickly here.
Start shooting.
Now Boschert finds Dar. 1:35 to play. The clock keeps ticking. Dar puts up a shot. He is blocked by number 0. That's Hunter Newman, the junior. He'll send Dar to the line. So overall, an efficient possession in terms of generating potential points, but maybe a little bit too much time than what you'd like.
Yeah. I think I would have liked to seen them put a shot up a lot sooner than that, but
Dar, first free throw does not roll in. Number 3, Cade Peterson, a senior, checks in for number 34, Sam Lewis, another senior for the Rams. Johnsonburg leads by 11. Preston Dar. The sophomore puts up the shot. He sinks the second free throw, redeems himself, cuts the deficit to 10. The Wolves, they have Chamberlain guarding Stauffer. He's guarding him pretty early. However, no real true press from the Wolves. Now Peterson gives it back out to Stauffer. 1:20 to play. And Stauffer just playing a good old-fashioned game of keep away. Very, very intentional by the Rams. They're doing it to perfection.
Yeah.
Novosel tries to strip that ball away from number 24, Aiden DeMay. He gets called on the reach-in.
And that's the last one we can give.
And that is not a good scenario, especially when considering Johnsonburg's playing keep away.
Yep.
Means you're very likely to try to strip that ball away, increases the likelihood of that 5th foul, and that would send Johnsonburg to the line, regardless of if a foul is a shooting foul or not. Any foul would send him to the line. Yeah. 1:03 to play now. Stauffer's guarded by Chamberlain here in the Wolves' den. Exactly 1 minute now. Stauffer is within the three-point line, but now he gives it back out to DeMay, and he finds the ball again himself. Stauffer, 50 seconds now, back out to DeMay. They're not even really trying to score here. They're just trying to chew some clock.
Yep, play keep away.
Again, they're just playing by the rules. No shot clock by the PIAA, one of the 6 states in the union that does not have a shot clock. Don't know if maybe that'll be in your guys'.
I'm not sure if that's proud or not. I don't know. Well, I don't know how to say that. It's tough.
People like trivia, so maybe if somehow, some way you're playing a trivia game, you'll now know.
Huh?
Yes, six out of the 50 states.
All right. Well,
and we're one of them.
Well, there we are.
Stauffer hits the free throw. Number 1, Aiden Galsick checks in for number 3, Kate Peterson.
And if you'd like to see his shot clock, go to PIAA.org. There's probably a contact information on there, but also check out the officiating link on there, too. We are in need of officials, and we actually have a young crew here tonight, probably in their 20s, early 30s at the most. Very young crew for roughing up in these games tonight. So it's nice to see that, but PIAA.org, we need officials in all sports. All sports need them.
Stauffer hit his second free throw. The Wolves got possession. They were unable to make the shot. Johnsonburg got the rebound, and now 18 seconds to play. Stauffer's guarded by Chamberlain, and it looks like they're backing off. They're content with just keeping this ball. There's no defensive output for the Wolves. They're going to let this clock drain down, so the final score will be 50-38 in favor of Johnsonburg, in a very well thought out game, a very momentum-based game as always, but especially today. The Wolves played much better in some ways compared to their season average tonight in terms of the free throws and second chance opportunities, but it did not get any better than the first quarter. Johnsonburg wins this game 50-38.
Yeah, and right now let's send it back to the station for a few words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with post-game coverage.
Kane Wolves basketball on 1017 XZY, supported by our friends of the Wolfpack and businesses like these. W.E. Swanson Insurance Agency, offering auto, homeowners, and business insurance at 23 Fraley Street in Kane. WESwansonAgency.com. Field Street Boots in Kane, a dealer for Carhartt and Timberline clothing, as well as winter footwear and sporting goods. They're on Facebook under Field Street Boots. Lindbergh Furniture, Route 219 north of Johnsonburg, and now Lindbergh Sleep Center at 410 Center Street in downtown Johnsonburg. More info at lindberghfurniture.biz. Kane Lumber and Fuel True Value Hardware. Building supplies, lighting, winter snow, and ice removal products at their location on Hemlock Avenue in Kane. Dine Excavating. Their services include gravel and limestone, topsoil, and septic tanks. Located on Route 6 west of Kane, their phone number is 814-837-6990. Zook Motors, with new and pre-owned vehicles and a service and parts department. They're online at zookmotors.net. The Photo and Sound Shop, Kane's Radio Shack dealer on Fraley Street, providing sales and in-home installation of smart TVs and electronics. We thank these sponsors and friends like you for supporting Kane Wolves basketball coverage on 1017 XZY.
WXCY LP Kane.
At home on your smart speaker, at work on your computer, or in the car on your radio. You're never far away from your music and programming on 1017 XZY.
Welcome back to the Wolves Den, where the Kane Wolves varsity boys basketball team, unfortunately unable to defeat their boogeyman in the Johnsonburg Rams in a rivalry matchup. Johnsonburg defeats Kane at a final score of 50-38. I'm Braden Byam, joined by my partner and the man to my right, Chris Nicholas. It was a game of momentum, which, I mean, any game in any sport always is, but especially today. At the end of the first quarter, the Kane Wolves, they led 15-10. At one point, they were up 11-4. Johnsonburg battles back. They took a 30-25 lead at halftime, so a 5-point lead in favor of Johnsonburg. At the end of 3, Johnsonburg extended their lead to 9. They led 45-36, and then they extended it to 12. Final score, once again, 58-38. And also, for those of you who didn't catch it earlier, the JV team lost a well-fought-out battle to Johnsonburg at a score of 46-36, but the JV team having a very good season themselves. Two very, very good JV teams. But Johnsonburg, they have more seniority. They have more seniors and juniors. I mean, they don't even have a single sophomore or freshman listed on their varsity roster.
No.
And they have 15 varsity players listed on their roster. But nonetheless, the Wolves, they have 2, Christopher Yates and Brock Wenzel. As I said earlier, Brock Wenzel is going to Mount Aloysius College to play baseball. He'll be their pitcher and also an outfielder, and he'll be studying business administration and sports management as his major at Mount Aloysius. So congratulations to him. And then Chris Yates also planning to continue some higher education. So good luck to both of them moving forward. We thank them so much for everything they provided for this Kane Wolves varsity boys basketball team. And beforehand, whether it be in middle school, elementary school, et cetera, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and work that's put into that. And that definitely deserves to be recognized. And they still have one more game against Cranberry on Monday.
Yeah, they still have another game going. And also, as we're having shout-outs to seniors, you know, Chris Yates and Sam Ackley Snowball King and Queen.
Yes.
So, congratulations to them. A little different was named here at the assembly today because the Snowball, if you haven't heard yet, it is postponed. We're not going to have any more information on that. So those of you keep your dresses, keep your tuxes or nice ties, and be ready for the dance when they do announce. Stay tuned for that. We'll have more information later. But every year you look forward to your last game. It's bittersweet.
Yes.
At your home court. You go out and you say you'd like to get a win, but play good ball. And I'll tell you what. From the start, I'm going to talk about Chris first. He came here last year, played winter ball, didn't play much, did his time, did the work in the off season, came in, was a little timid at the beginning of the season. Boy, grew into a leader on this team as the season went on.
He definitely did, and it's very, very impressive, and it speaks to his character. Anybody around Chris Yates and also Brock Wenzel as well, none of them have any negative things to say about them. Two very, very good young men.
And Brock, I think I mentioned this early in the broadcast, but for those that didn't hear, the only senior because Chris came here a little late to play from elementary ball all the way up. Played, stayed with the program all the way through to his senior year. That takes a lot of dedication, and that again attests to his character of signing not necessarily in basketball, but he's signing in another sport out of college. That takes some grit and some good grades as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The percentage of high school athletes that go to any level of collegiate athletics, very, 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 very low. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Chris Yates as well. Let's get into what actually happened in this game.
Let's talk about it a little bit.
So overall, the Wolves did much better, despite the loss. Of course, you're looking to win, but the Wolves did much better in this game against Johnsonburg than their first game. They lost by 26 points on the road to Johnsonburg. 50-24 was the score. That was on December 17th. Johnsonburg has now won 8 out of their last 9 games against Kane, dating back to the 2019 to 2020 season. Kane's only win was in 2023. They won 60-59. Right here, it was on WXCY.
It was.
You can go to the archives if you want to relive some glory days and listen to that one, but the win will come. Unfortunately, it does not come for Kane this year. They fall to a 9-12 record. Meanwhile, Johnsonburg finishes the regular season with a 14-8 record. Overall, I liked what I saw from the Wolves tonight comparatively compared to their previous games in the sense that they were much better from the free throw line. They had second chance opportunities. They first turnovers really well. They didn't have a ton of foul trouble, but they really peaked in the first quarter in all 3 of those metrics. And it was very fun in the first quarter, but after that you could see it slip away, and then with that the momentum slipped away as well. So comparatively much better, but overall still not a complete 4-quarter performance for this boys basketball team.
Yeah, it wasn't, and we talked at the beginning of the game, they needed to put 4 quarters together against a team like the Rams. Now the Rams are in a tough spot. Talking about playoffs going on. The Wolves is going to be questionable now going forward of entering the playoffs. We'll stay tuned, as we always say.
Of course.
You never know. But the Rams have a week off before another game. They might be involved in the AML game, which our girls are playing. They play 2 games next week, Monday and Wednesday here at the Wolves Den. They take on St. Mary's on Monday and Smethport on Wednesday. But then they play Friday night down at DuBois Central Catholic Country.
Get another crack at them. I know head coach Brian Weimer's been wanting to take down a Goliath of the District 9. The ECC game was canceled yesterday. Yes,
it did.
Canceled. Gosh darn the weather.
But you know what? The Wolves can get a win against DuBois, which would be awesome because DuBois Central Catholic is a very good team, the Lady Wolves, that is, and they could get that crack at. I think ECC is going to take St. Mary's down in the first round, the first round of that game as well. So you could see a championship game at the Dutch Oven.
There you go.
On a Saturday evening sometime. Where the Lady Wolves could go down there. But you don't count your chickens for. You got 2 games coming up. The Wolves have a game on Monday down in Cranberry, a tough road game to end the year with. They start tough and end tough here.
Yes, they do.
With some tough games. But, I really like the first quarter. And, with just 2 seniors on the team, there's a lot to look forward to for these Wolves.
Oh, of course. They're a very, very good young team. Johnsonburg also, despite having juniors and seniors everywhere, they have a very good JV team themselves as well. But a lot to look forward to for this boys varsity basketball program. They went 8-14 last year. They're 9-12 right now. So if they can get to that 10th win, of course, it's not the greatest record in the world, but it's still progress comparatively to the last 2 seasons. But because the boys' last home game is on the road, this will be our last broadcast for boys varsity basketball here on 101.7 WXCY. We'd like to thank you truly from the bottom of our hearts for joining us. As we said, we still have 2 regular season girls broadcasts for St. Mary's and Smethport, and then in terms of the postseason, stay tuned. But just like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's such a blessing and a privilege to be able to do this. I know Chris also agrees with me on that, and it's all because of you. As you always say, Chris, you're the reason why we're able to do this, and like you say, keep the transmitter transmitting and whatnot.
We want to keep that. We are a nonprofit. I'll give another plug again. The radio station is a 501c3 nonprofit, non-commercial radio station, so the only way we stay on the air to bring these games to all of you and bring our regular programming. The radio station is on 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can stream us at WXCYradio.com because I know our transmitter doesn't go out far because of our nonprofit, non-commercial license, but you can hear our programming anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
During the seasons that we broadcast on athletics, we get lots of call-ins from all over the country and sometimes from service members throughout the world. So it's great to know that we can bring that to all the people from a small little town, Kane, Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
But that's all I have tonight. You can wrap her up and we'll send her back.
Yep, and thank you so much, guys. That's genuinely all because of you. You're making dreams come true. We're really living the dream here. We wouldn't rather do anything else, and it's all because of you, whether it be any way you support, whether it be through watching and or listening, whether you have any monetary donations or not, does not matter. We truly appreciate your support, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Wherever you may be listening, in a car in Kane, Mount Jewett, St. Mary's, somewhere in the world, China, Erie, Pittsburgh, in the United States, anywhere. You could be in outer space in NASA. It does not matter if you're listening to 101.7.
I'd love to have something from the space station. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
But thank you so much for tuning in to 101.7 WXCY. As always, I personally will be back on the air for the Smethport game on Wednesday. But like we said, we have 2 girls games coming up, Monday against St. Mary's at home and then Wednesday against Smethport. But nonetheless, I am Brandon Byam, joined by Chris Nicholas. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. Johnsonburg defeats Kane 50-38 in the final home game of the boys varsity basketball season. Have safe travels home, everybody, if you're traveling. And as always, let's go Wolves.